Hello and welcome to Red Barn Radio. I'm Brad Becker. This is season number 19 of Red Barn Radio, and tonight is show number 713. Woohoo! Yeah! To keep our staff and our musical guests safe, we will continue to abide here by state and local guidelines concerning cleanliness and personal protective equipment. For now, you, the online viewers and radio listeners, are the Red Barn Radio audience. This evening, we bring to the Red Barn stage country music artist Kyle Fields. Kyle is originally from the small town of Greenup, Kentucky, and now lives here in Lexington. Kyle's musical style is rooted in good old school country, and he's developing a real following. Welcome, folks, Kyle Fields to Red Barn Radio.
Me and Crockett Reed rode at GMC, cutting donuts on a high school field. About got expelled, spent a night in jail, but man, did we have a story to tell. Now he settled down quite a bit since then. He's a blue-collar businessman, and I still like to get a little rowdy, but not like way back then, back in my wilder days, my rambling ways. Yeah, it's been a few years and a whole lot of beers, but I swear I wouldn't change a thing from my wilder days. Hangovers, they hurt more than they used to. Yeah, that's just a fact. But I learned you can't find all the answers at the bottom of a whiskey glass. I'm still in the bars every weekend playing this guitar till almost 3. And all them nights of sin have given me a few songs to sing about my wilder days and my rambling ways. Yeah, it's been a few years and a whole lot of beers, but I swear I wouldn't change a thing from my wilder days. And after the way that I used to behave, sometimes I wonder how I ain't rolling in the grave from my wilder days. Yeah, my wilder days, them rambling ways. Yeah, it's been a few years and a whole lot of beers, but I swear I wouldn't change a thing from my wilder days. All them rambling ways. Yeah, it's been a few years and a whole lot of beers, but I swear I wouldn't change a thing from my wilder days. Yeah, my wilder days.
Good evening, and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to the music of Kentucky. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. Lex Arts, Lexington, Kentucky's Arts Council, creating a great American city inspired by the arts. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and hopefully like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
Hey, folks, this evening, Kyle Fields is with us here on Red Barn Radio. Kyle made the news when his 2017 album Hillbilly Poetry reached the top 20 mark on Amazon and iTunes. While he takes his music to honky-tonks across our 7 neighboring states, Kyle splits up most of his time between Nashville, Tennessee, and Lexington, Kentucky these days. He's just released The Dues Are Paid, Welcome back, Mr. Kyle Fields.
Hungover again from last night, so smoke me a joint and then it set me right. Gonna repeat it all again tonight. I'm heading up to Ohio for a show and a good times are gonna roll when I'm on stage with that sweet thing one more time. 'Cause I'm a honky-tonkin' man. I make a living with a guitar in my hand. When I knock upon heaven's door, I hope they let in troubadours, 'cause I'm a honky-tonkin' man. Now I got a few buddies and they settled down in nice little houses in our hometown. Got a pretty wife and a couple of kids. Oh, but the truth is that life just ain't for me. No, some folks are just wanna be free, and I can't wait to hit that road again. 'Cause I'm a honky-tonkin' man. I make a living with a guitar in my hand. Now when I knock upon heaven's door, I hope they let in troubadours, 'cause I'm a honky-tonkin' man. Oh, let's honky-tonk. I'm a honky-tonkin' man. I make a living with a guitar in my hand. Now when I knock upon heaven's door, I hope they let in troubadours, 'cause I'm a honky-tonkin' man. I'm a honky-tonkin' man. Hey, appreciate it. Let's see. This next one here is it's off my latest album too. So far, all of them that I've done's been off the new album. I'm gonna do a few off the first album and the second album, but it's a pretty little love song. This one isn't necessarily about me. I'm still not married or nothing, but it's a pretty little love song. Well, we ain't on the beach nowhere, but I swear with you it's paradise. I wanna rock with you, baby, on a front porch swing someday when we're 85. Well, our love is a short thing, that's why I got you yet, ring? You ever wonder when to stop loving you? Well, honey, let me go ahead and tell you. The winter ain't no birds up in the sky. When every creek around here runs dry. Winter ain't no more country and blues. That's when I'll stop loving you. When a farmer don't pray for good hard rain, I never strum another guitar string. Oh, baby, I'm telling you the truth. That's when I'll stop loving you. We bought this little acre and a half of land, and you and me going hand in hand together. Now there'll come a day when this family will grow by 2 or maybe 3. Well, sure as lightning bugs in June, I swear under the stars and moon. In case you didn't hear me the first time, I'll sing it again just to clarify. The winter ain't no birds up in the sky. When every creek around here runs dry. Winter ain't no more country and blues. That's when I'll stop loving you. When a farmer don't pray for good hard rain, I never strum another guitar string. Oh, baby, I'm telling you the truth. That's when I'll stop loving you. Winter ain't no birds up in the sky. When every creek around here runs dry. Winter ain't no more country and blues. That's when I'll stop loving you. When a farmer don't pray for good hard rain, I never strum another guitar string. Oh, baby, I'm telling you the truth. That's when I'll stop loving you. Oh, honey, that's when I stop loving you. Thank you. Thank you. Love song there, y'all. Well, I'm gonna do something. This one is off the first album. I wrote this. This is one of the first songs I actually ever wrote back a long time ago. And we recorded it acoustic, kind of like we're doing now on the actual album. Recorded over at my buddy Garrick Howell's place in Georgetown. He has got a little studio in his house, and we ended up using that one that we did at his place in his basement on the album. And it's kind of self-explanatory, I guess. About light in the dark, I guess. I ain't been in my granddaddy's grave ever since he left, and I just ain't been able to kick his cigarettes. And I walked down on a woman who was better than most. The old me I used to be just seems to be a ghost. There's a Bible on my dresser, and I ain't picked it up. It's been sitting there so long, it's starting to wear a coat of dust. And I lean on the bottle a little more than I should, to try to ease my pain, but I still never could. And a face that's in a mirror, well, I don't like him at all. It's been living on the edge so long, I think I'm gonna fall. And I know what's right, but I still do what's wrong. Lord, I'm down here on my knees, will you please answer my call? I don't come to you often, not as near as much as I should. But here lately, everything ain't been going so good. And yes, I am a sinner, and I know that is true. But now I'm asking for forgiveness, and that's why I pray to you. And a face that's in a mirror, well, I don't like him at all. I've been living on the edge so long, I think I'm gonna fall. And I know what's right, but I still do what's wrong. Lord, I'm down here on my knees. Will you please answer my call? Yeah, the face that's in a mirror, well, I don't like him at all. I've been living on the edge so long, I think I'm gonna fall. And I know what's right, but I still do what's wrong. Lord, I'm down here on my knees. Will you please answer my call? Thank you. Thank you. Whew. Thank you. We got a lot of sad songs that'll be going through tonight. This one ain't too sad though. Well, yeah, it's not too sad. I went out west this is a new one I'm gonna try out. I went out west and with my buddy Zeb, who lives here in Lexington, and we went to Grand National Teton Park, and we went to basically covered the whole state of Wyoming. But our buddy Chris Bingman, he works out there, and he's a character, man. He's a good dude, but he goes by Dr. Chris Bingman. He goes by Reverend Bingman, but he actually works at the National Parks Service out there, and he works at Teton. And we got to stay out there on the cabin, like right in the middle of the national park, and it was awesome. But Zeb was like, "Man, well, you need to write a song about Binger," and so we did. And I'm gonna try it. I've never played this in front of anybody, but I'll probably record it someday. Nothing but. See if I can remember it. I hope I don't mess it up. Well, he was born in Clark County, a land called Ohio. But he moved out west where the air's fresh, the elk and the buffalo roam. And now he lives up on a mountain. Teton is his home. He picks a little mando, picks a little banjo, got a lot of mountain soul. Lord knows he got a mountain soul. He's been called a doctor, a colonel, and a reverend too. Sometimes he goes out drinking, chasing skirts in an old saloon. And he's always looking for a good time, come rain, wind, or snow. But woman, if you don't treat him right, on down the river he'll go. On down the river he'll go. Because he lives up on a mountain. Teton is his home. He picks a little mando, picks a little banjo, got a lot of mountain soul. Lord knows he got a mountain soul. Pass him biscuits in the morning, whiskey when his whistle's dry. He don't worry about nothing much, but he can't help but wonder why that the world is all gone crazy. Folks can't get along, but he sits right there in a mountain air and he sings another song. Yeah, he sings another song. 'cause he lives up on a mountain. Teton is his home. He picks a little mando, picks a little banjo, got a lot of mountain soul. Lord knows he got a mountain soul. Now when his race is run, the angel band calls him home. You can go ahead and you can write it right there on his headstone. Daddy pick a little mando, pick a little banjo, got a lot of mountain soul. Lord knows he got a mountain soul. Hey. Well, he live up on a mountain. Teton is his home. Pick a little mando, pick a little banjo, got a lot of mountain soul. Lord knows he got a mountain soul. Yeah, pick a little mando, pick a little banjo, got a lot of mountain soul. Yeah.
All right.
Try that one out first. I need to get how I'm actually going to record that down. A little, hey. Yeah, old Chris, he's a good dude. It's we wrote a song about him. He's quite the character. I wish if it was open to the public, he's actually in town, and I was wanting him to maybe try to come out. But next time we can, when stuff gets back to normal, we can do that. But let's see.
I'm here to talk to Kyle tonight. You're listening to Red Barn Radio. I hope you're enjoying Kyle's first set as much as we are. Kyle is not new to Red Barn tonight. Kyle was with us several years ago. Is that right,
Yeah.
Kyle?
2017, I think.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's great to have you back.
Yeah, thank you all for having me. It's
Yeah.
always so fun.
Kyle, it's exciting. I'm sure you've got a new album out,
Yeah.
which is called
The
Dues Are Paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, before we talk about your album, let's talk about where you came from and sort of what brought you to this place where you're at today. You're living here in Lexington now.
Nashville, actually.
Oh, you're living in Nashville now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was in Lexington for I'm originally from Greenup, Kentucky.
Yeah, right.
And then I moved to Nashville in 2012 and was down there for like 5 years, and then I just got burnt out of it really, and moved to Lexington.
That's all right. You can recoup that.
Yeah, we can do that later. But anyways, I moved to Nashville for a few years, and then I moved back to Lexington just to be closer to family and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
but and then I've been back about a year and a half in Nashville. Well, outside of Nashville, but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So good. We'll talk about that. That sounds like kind of a circular
Yeah.
journey. I'd love to hear about the kind of things that have made you move. You said family's important to you. Can you
Yeah.
talk about growing up in Greenup, Kentucky?
Yeah.
Folks who are listening may or may not know anything about Greenup, so give them the scoop.
It's a pretty rural area. It's it's like in the tri-state area there of Kentucky, Ohio, and West Virginia, right on the line there, close to Ashland. And good old folks, just country living, no big city. And I love growing up out there, playing outside and shooting guns and rode horses and all kinds of just doing stuff that you do in the country, It's
Did you actually grow up on a farm?
I didn't. My grandpa, he owns he has, it's been in the family name forever, and he's getting a lot older now and kind of bad health, but he used to farm a lot of tobacco and everything, really. Everything we'd eat, we'd get out of the garden there. He'd send over, every time Mom or one of us would go over, he always, still to this day, he'll send us, home with a bunch of green beans or squash or something. Yeah.
Did you spend a lot of time on that farm when you were a young person?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, when I was young, it was like we were over there a lot. And, I still try to make it over there every time I'm home,
Yeah.
I'm going home tomorrow, so definitely
nice.
be back. So yeah.
And was your grandpa an important figure in
Oh, yeah.
your life? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I would say, for getting me and like to fall, like I love, the old school country music like Merle Haggard and George Jones and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I mean, that's what he liked, and bluegrass and gospel, and he got me into all of that stuff, and then Mom was she got me into country music pretty big too. But
Was your grandpa a player?
no, he never played. My uncle, his son, he played a guitar, Uncle Dean, and he's a pretty good guitar player, and he played, I remember him always sitting around playing like Johnny Cash and stuff like that, and I always thought that was cool,
Yeah, as a young kid, did you watch that happening and kind of go, wow, this is a cool thing for a grown-up to do?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I had a few, my uncle, and then I had a couple of neighbors that played guitar, and I always looked at, I was like, man, I want to learn how to do that one day. And then finally I got a guitar when I was, I think 12 or 13. And
So you're pretty young.
yeah, I haven't got much better on one since then. I mean, I can do a little bit.
Oh, come on.
But yeah, I just, I fell in love with it, just writing songs and doing all that stuff.
So when you were 12 or 13 and first picking up that instrument, did you take to it right away and have somebody sort of sitting alongside you saying, hey, here's how you do a C, here's how you do a G, here's how you hammer a chord?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was like, it's a funny story. My neighbor that was across the street, I got that guitar for Christmas, and it was like, I think 7 or 8 in the morning whenever I got it. And I had Mom call over there and say, he's wanting you to show him. So I went over there, and the morning of Christmas, basically walked across the street, and he started showing me, G, D, and C, and the basics, how everybody usually gets started. And then I had another neighbor down the street, Nick, and he showed me some stuff. And then I took what they showed me, and then, started getting on the computer and watching videos and trying to do stuff like that and learn. So
Did you learn a lot from YouTube videos when you were a little kid?
yeah, I mean, enough to get through.
Yeah.
I wish I could pick a little more like and be it, but I'm getting there. That's one of my next objectives. But yeah, the YouTube stuff, that really helped me. Whenever I remember I had an Esteban guitar one time, and it came with a DVD, and he'd show you how to do some stuff, and I used to try to do that, but I couldn't get into the Esteban stuff. Once I just learned the basic chords, that was enough for me. So
Yeah. Somebody's whistling. Is that your phone?
I think it is.
You want to grab that? Yeah, or silence that?
I thought it was. Zeb South.
Well, that's
Nobody
all right.
else text me if you're watching this.
Well, it's nice to know people care out
Well,
there.
that is true. Can I?
Yeah, you can. Can you grab that, Adam? Thanks. Yeah, Adam will grab that.
sorry.
For you. That's no sweat. No sweat at all.
Am I taking your phone from you? I'm also giving you this back.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
I think we're good now. Yeah, let's fix this real quick too. Sorry, y'all.
That was Adam
I'm not
Schodinger,
used to
ladies
this.
and gentlemen.
Yeah, I can hear so much.
Our
better
stage
now.
manager. What a stage manager. So, hey, so do you feel you were saying you kind of would like to learn to do sort of more flat picking or sort of maybe more sort of lead oriented
yeah.
stuff. Do you feel you don't ever worry that you're too old to learn to do that, do you?
Oh no, absolutely.
good.
Not. It's more just really. I mean, I play music full time, so it's like there's sometimes I'll play 8 hours a day, and then if I'm not doing that, it's just like a lot of times whenever you get home from playing so much, and I'm usually 6-7 days a week a lot of times, so it's like a lot of times you're sitting around the house. It's like you don't really push yourself to do it, but
Yeah.
I'd say we'll have a little time here the next few weeks. I'm going to refresh on some stuff probably. So.
Yeah. Well, good. So, do you have done music full time then for how long?
Whenever I moved to Lexington, I was here for 6 months or so, and I was working at Centos over here, and I was doing that, and then before I moved back to Nashville, I'd say 6 months or so, and so 2018 or something like that, I think is when I started doing it full time.
Okay.
And then I've been back to Nashville, and But yeah, I mostly did it on the weekends and stuff, you know, before then. So.
Do you have any formal music education? Did you ever have music teachers, people
Yeah.
who you like to talk about?
I was in band in 6th and 7th grade, and I used to play a alto sax, and a guy named John Coman he showed me. He was a really cool dude. He played a mean sax. He played everything, but he was the band teacher, and he taught me like music theory, you know, how to actually look at, you know, you obviously learn that in band and all that stuff, but yeah, that was very helpful being in that, and I wish I could still play one. I haven't played one since I was 12 or 13 or whatever, when, you know, middle school, but that was fun. I wish I would have stuck with that, but he taught me a lot, though, in terms of, like, you know, like I said, theory and just reading music and stuff like that. That was very helpful being in there.
Did you have other interests in, you know, like back when you look back on your middle school and high school years, did you have other interests other than music and learning to play music?
I mean, honestly, it's always been like ever since I was a kid, like that's been my ultimate goal. You know what I mean? Just to be a full-time musician. I went to, you know, school and stuff, and like I went to ACC and was going to do like a kind of like a backup plan, you know, if it didn't work out. And I worked at Centos for 9 years, I think, and I just played music on the weekends. And then finally I got to where I was, you know, getting enough gigs and all that stuff and putting out albums and stuff to where I could finally, you know, do it full time. And it's been a lot funner since I've done that, you know. I've been like, you know, that's what my goal was, and the last couple of years, it's finally I get to be a full-time musician, and, you know, be comfortable and get to travel around and do everything I always wanted to do, you know. So,
yeah. What did you have any particular hurdles sort of making that leap, you know, to going full time as a musician? Were there any hurdles, or were the hurdles
plenty.
sort of self-made, or?
A lot of them were self-made. Yeah, I used to be a lot wilder back than I was then, but a lot of it was it's hard to do, you know, to make a steady amount of income. I mean, in Lexington, which has a great, you know, music scene and stuff here, but like when I was living here, it was tough to, you know, there's just not enough like venues, it seems like, and you can't stay busy enough, you know, like to do it. As opposed to when I moved back to Nashville, you know, it was like every day. I can play 8 hours on a Monday, you know, and that was the biggest thing that why I was scared to take the leap, was because, you know, I was always worried about financially and, you know, the doubts that everybody would probably have, you know, your 401k and, you know, stuff like that, because you don't get that as a musician. So, but, you know, it's a lot of hurdles, you know. I mean, I used to be stupider back when I, you know, dumber, stupider, that's not it. But, I mean, I used to drink a lot. I'm not going to lie about that. That was, so that definitely set me a lot back. But, you know, I feel good now, and chasing that neon rainbow, as Alan Jackson says.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, it was interesting, you know, the song that you, one of the first songs you played tonight, the Honky Tonkin' Man.
Yeah.
You know, you look at that title on the set list, you go, this will kind of be a, you know, foot. This will be kind of a foot tapper.
Yeah.
And but it's, you know, the irony was there, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a sad and lonely ballad.
Yeah.
About you know, the reality and the reality of doing what you're doing if you go into it unprepared.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Or not necessarily unprepared, right? But it can be just young people start.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's just kind of part of doing it, you know, like I think that song kind of talks about, I actually wrote that when I was going up to play in Ohio, Pickerington, Ohio, and there's a line about going up to Ohio and being hungover, and I was hungover, you know, so all that stuff. But I mean, I think that's part of being a musician, you know. Back in the old days, they went out and they rode, and, you know, they'd travel, and they'd have to be away from home forever. And a lot of times you're doing it, you know, if you're playing by yourself, you're traveling 3-4 hours away, and, you know, a lot of times you show up, you don't know anybody, so you are alone a lot and stuff, you know. It is what it is. But it's also like I wouldn't trade that for nothing, you know. That
Yeah,
kind of-
right. But it turns out that actually that alcohol becomes sort of the release and also
yeah.
kind of the trap, right?
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a balance of it. I think, you know, sometimes I went over that, but I mean, as long as you maintain it and be responsible, you know, don't get sloppy all the time, but turn up every now and again. I think it's not too big a problem. But yeah, I went back. You know, I've cut back on it a lot. I feel a lot better. So just you know, from drinking and stuff, I've just been a lot better off since I've done that. So
Yeah, well, you look good and you sound good.
Thank you.
Hey, folks, we're talking with Kyle Fields. He is a country musician. He is from Greenup, Kentucky, lives in Nashville now. And we're going to come back and talk with Kyle after he plays some more music for us. Welcome back, folks, Kyle Fields to Red Barn.
He worked in a coal mine for 23 years. Was a family man, level-headed, other than a few beers. But with his older age, his body started breaking down. So he searched for the answers in a pain clinic downtown. Doctor said, son, you're gonna be just fine. Need a few weeks rest, take these pills I prescribe. And as the months passed on, back this job it never went. And he unintentionally became an addict. Now he's addicted to suicide, and the devil's candy control his life. There ain't no way in hell he'll get out alive. Yeah, 'cause he's addicted to suicide. His wife and kids left, found himself all alone. The new habit he adopted was still going strong. He lost a sense of direction like a feather in the wind. But nothing else mattered but flying high again. Now he's addicted to suicide, and the devil's candy controls his life. There ain't no way in hell he'll get out alive. Yeah, 'cause he's addicted to suicide. One night the pain caught him overwhelmed. Took a whole damn bottle into the floor he fell. It's the same old story in this little town. Just another good man being laid in the ground. 'Cause he was addicted to suicide. The devil's candy control his life. There ain't no way in hell he'll get out alive. Yeah, 'cause he was addicted Oh man, that was off the first album there. I ain't done that in a while. So, thank you. This next one I shot a music video. This was off the new album, and I shot a music video there for it a while back. My great grandpa was said I'm from Greenup, Kentucky, but my great grandpa, he was from Pike County, Kentucky, born and raised originally, and I used to work a lot down there in Pike County, in that whole area, Floyd County, McGoffin County, Knott County. I covered a lot of that part of eastern Kentucky and got to know a lot of people there. And a lot of times people have to leave down there because there's not a lot of work, and that's kind of what this song's about. Kind of like talks about that. So. Well, my roots are anchored solid. I never ever wanna leave. There ain't no work around here for a man, and I got mouths to feed. There's a job up in Chicago, and I just can't say no. I always keep you in my heart. You'll always be my home. I'm leaving Pike County, leaving here tonight. I'll be missing you dearly when I cross that Illinois line. If I could stop this thing, oh, I'd stop her on a dime. But I'm leaving Pike County, leaving here tonight. Well, they shut down most of the coal mines, and the pills just moved on in. Seems like Washington don't care. Now they don't give a damn. Well, Mama, I ain't to be home around Christmas time. But no, I ain't for sure. I better get on down the line. I'm leaving Pike County, leaving here tonight. I'll be missing you dearly when I cross that Illinois line. If I could stop this thing, oh, I'd stop her on a dime. But I'm leaving Pike County, I'm leaving here tonight. I'm leaving Pike County, leaving here tonight. I'll be missing you dearly when I pass that Route 23 sign. If I could stop this thing, oh, I'd stop her on a dime. But I'm leaving Pike County, I'm leaving here tonight. If I could stop this thing, oh, I'd stop her on a dime. But I'm leaving Pike County, it's killing me to leave here tonight. All right, let's see. Thank you, appreciate it. This one's not as slow and sad. It's the words are sad, but I love Conway Twitty. He's one of my favorite old school country singers, and me and my buddy Adam Foyt, we wrote this a long time ago. This is off the first album, Hillbilly Poetry. But my buddy Adam Foyt and me wrote this back in I can't even remember, probably 2014 or 2013. I ain't done it in a while. I might mess it up, but you'll get the gist of it. It's about kind of about Conway Twitty. Here we see. I've been a bad, bad boy, I know it's true. Too many nights out on the town, not enough at home loving you. But you never even said goodbye, yeah, you left me high and dry. But Why don't you give me a chance to change your mind? And if I said, hello, darling, I'd still love to lay it down. Wouldn't make you turn that car around. And you need a man with a slow hand, so honey, get your tight-fitting jeans on. Now, baby, come on home, let's turn some Conway on. Well, now, Linda, she ain't on my mind, 'cause it's my job to keep you satisfied. When your auburn hair turns gray, you know I still love you anyway. Now, honey, there ain't no time to waste. And if I said, hello, darling, I'd still love to lay it down. Wouldn't make you turn that car around. You need a man with a slow hand, son. Get your tight-fitting jeans on. Now, baby, come on home. Let's turn some Conway on. I'll go to Twitty City. You know you'll always be my Louisiana, and I just wanna be your Mississippi man. But if love can't change your mind, well, I guess it's goodbye time. I hope you turn it around before that county line. And if I said, hello, darling, I'd still love to lay it down. Would it make you turn that car around? And you need a man with a slow hand, so honey, get your tight-fitting jeans on. Now, baby, come on home, let's turn some Conway on. Yeah, baby, come on home, let's turn some Conway on. Yeah, Conway Twitty.
All right. Hey, folks, we are so glad you can be with us tonight on Red Barn Radio. Before we get on with more music from Kyle Fields, I wanted to share a couple of things with you. First of all, Red Barn Radio will be on hiatus for the next couple of weeks from our live stream. During this break, we will all celebrate Thanksgiving and prepare our annual holiday program, this year an Appalachian winter solstice. Our live stream returns on December 9th with Lilac, an indie rock band based in Lexington, Kentucky. It began as a solo project of Gideon Mackey, but added members and honed itself into something very unique. This diverse musical background of all the players puts together an eclectic blend of lyrical and instrumental influences, and we really like what we hear. We think you will too, and that's coming on December 9th. And now this too, this just in, this coming Saturday at 3 p.m., Red Barn Radio is going to be going online on our Facebook page. You'll find a link. There you will find a rousing performance at 3 p.m. on Saturday from one of our very favorite Kentucky bands, Wayne Graham. What a great way to start out the holiday week. You can listen to Wayne Graham live at Terrapin Hill, playing from start to finish their brand new album, 1% Juice. You can get, again, to this concert by going to the Red Barn Radio Facebook page, and we will co-host that event. We got all kinds of exciting things coming up down the pike here, including Hancock and Schaus, who will be here later on in December after our holiday program. So again, glad to have you all with us. And we're going to get back to tonight's Red Barn Radio program. Red Barn Radio is coming to you live on our social media platforms from the Art Plates Performance Hall here in the great city of Lexington, Kentucky. Please welcome back Kyle to the Red Barn stage. Kyle Fields.
Hair's dark as coal dust and eyes bluer than the sea. She's about the prettiest thing that I ever did see. We're stoning llamas with her sundress, and she'll take a sip of shine. But come Sunday morning, she'll be singing "Old Rugged Cross" with the choir. Make me higher than a mountain top. Think about you, I don't stop. Bring me sunshine when it's raining. I feel for you like crazy. Oh, my Appalachian lady. She got brains, she got beauty. Fix a main home-cooked meal. She ain't no thief, but her heart she will steal. Middle name came from her grandmama. She prays for her daddy and all her kin. She still listens to Dolly, Miss Loretta Lynn. Don't make me higher than a mountain top. Think about you, I don't stop. Bring me sunshine when it's raining. I feel for you like crazy. Oh, my Appalachian lady. Now make me higher than a mountain top. Think about you, I don't stop. Bring me sunshine when it's raining. I feel for you like crazy. Oh, my Appalachian lady. Oh, my Appalachian lady. Oh, my Appalachian lady. Thank you. Let's see. Well, this one is off it's the title track of the new latest album there, and kind of talks about how we were talking about paying the dues and all that stuff. Kind of a little bit of the story there. Ain't done it in a while. I've stood on almost every stage across the bluegrass state. Spent some years in Nashville, playing down on Broadway. And it's been over a decade now since I started chasing this damn dream. Lord, I'm wondering, when will the dues be paid? Desire's still burning, but the years keep turning. Oh man, just look at how I've aged. But I keep on picking, live out the songs I'm a-singing, and until my soul does fly away. And hope that someday the dues are paid. Well, I've sung for tips in front of empty chairs and a bartender named Tammy. She said she really liked my songs, and someday that I would catch my break, but it ain't today. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna make the rent next week. It's got me asking, when will the dues be paid? Desire's still burning, but the years keep turning. Oh man, just look at how I've aged. But I keep on picking, live out the songs I'm a-singing until my soul does fly away. Hope someday the dues are paid. Desire's still burning, but the years keep turning. Oh man, just look at how I've aged. But I keep on a-picking, live out the songs I'm a-singing until my soul does fly away. Hoping someday the dues are paid. Yeah, the dues are paid. Well, I've stood on almost every stage across the bluegrass stage. I spent some years in Nashville, laying down on Broadway. Thank you. Thank you. This next one's pretty much just about my hometown back in Greenup, Kentucky, and the ending there was a guy that I was kind of buddies with in school, and he died in a car wreck. I think our junior year. Yeah, it was junior year. And I remember that was the first time that I really, you know, like somebody at my age and stuff, so that died. And I remember just how shocked I was. And he was always a good dude. He was a Bengals fan. I always liked him because of that. He always wore. I'm a diehard Bengals fan. It's been a rough life sometimes, but he was a good dude. And I mentioned him in this song because I remember how shocked it was. And then it's just some other stuff about growing back up there. I was back home a few years back and wrote this song, and it's called Big Memories. Used to burn my tires up down Whetstone Road. A 17-year-old heroin trying to beat a curfew home. I had to tell a few white lies to my parents, but looking back now, still to this day, I don't regret it. Yeah, I reminisce here, good and a bad, best and worst times I ever had. They play out like an old movie scene. This place will always be a part of me, yeah, the small town. sure left some big memories. Brittany and Joe was the first love I'll seen. But after school she took off for Houston, and I ain't seen her again. But I still think about them green eyes and heavenly smile, and wonder why that it ain't me this May walking her down the aisle. Yeah, I reminisce here, the good and the bad, best and the worst times I ever had. They play out like an old movie scene. This place will always be a part of me, yeah, this small town sure left some big memories. There's a cross over on the side of the road. In December '07, we said goodbye to Devon Rose. Sometimes I'll selfishly ask Jesus why. I still can't find all the answers. I just think of him and smile. Yeah, I reminisce here, the good and the bad, best and the worst times I ever had. They play out like an old movie scene. This place will always be a part of me, yeah, this small town. Yeah, this little small town. Yeah, this little small town sure left some big memories. Yeah, some big memories.
Hey, folks, we're with Kyle Fields tonight here on Red Barn Radio. Kyle, great tunes.
Thank you, man.
Enjoying your music a lot.
Thank you.
You know, it seems that artists are people who are particularly attuned to those sort of pivotal moments in life that, you know, that can take a person either down or up,
Right.
you know, backwards or forwards.
Yeah.
And, you know, you talked about that. You talked about your friend, you know, the losing
Yeah.
life of your friend in the last song, and you know, what are some other areas, other sort of moments and events in your life that you feel have really shaped you as an artist and as a person, and have either inspired you or presented you with a challenge that you know, helped you to kind of retreat to your art to work through it?
Right. Well, I mean, just a lot of things, you know, any type of loss, you know, and like addiction stuff, you know. I mean, just everything, you know. That old country music that I like to listen to, that was, you know, a lot of that stuff's sad, but it always came from a real place, you know, like those dudes were always singing about, you know, what they were living, and a lot of that stuff is, you know, if it's not directly about me, it's about somebody I've met, you know, battling with addiction or something, or, you know, I got a lot of sad songs, unfortunately, but I mean, life's not all rainbow and butterflies, you know.
No, it isn't.
You know, so I feel like you've got to have a good balance of that stuff, you know, and me personally, you know, we got to talking there earlier, and I found out I was a diabetic there a while back and was in the hospital, and me and you talked about that there a little bit, but I feel like that's really changed me a lot, you know, as, you know, an artist, like not getting to take things for granted, I think, and trying to be in your best shape, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
just
So
to-
so prior to that time that you learned about your diabetes,
Yeah.
had you picked up a lot of weight, and did you feel like you weren't really living the kind of life that was going to be very good for that
Yeah, I was
particular
terrible.
affliction?
I mean, I was like I said, I used to drink very, very bad, and I was, I think you couldn't recognize me hardly once, because I lost so much weight. But I used to be a lot bigger, and yeah, I think I started taking better care of myself and feel better than I ever have, So,
Yeah.
but that was kind of part of the journey, I guess. So to kind of wake your eyes up, to realize you got to stay on top of stuff and don't take your health and stuff for granted, because it can come back to you, and it's not good.
Was there a point where you felt like, being an artist is kind of about suffering through that stuff and living that sort of rough life, because you have to keep bouncing back, and
Right.
that kind of fuels it. Are you seeing things differently now? Are
Yeah.
you feeling that a little more whole in living a cleaner life?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel better than I ever have, and but yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of some of the greatest songs of all time. People had to go through struggles to get that. And I'm glad that, unfortunately, I had to go through it. But I think it's part of the bigger picture thing. It's all like the paying the dues thing. Getting out there and like driving to that song I was talking about, paying the dues. The dues are paid like I drove 3 hours and played for tips, and there been like 4 people in the bar. That was all part of it. It sucked, but it was part of it. And looking back on it, I wouldn't trade that as an artist, to anything. I wouldn't. People go on The Voice or all these TV shows, and they're a big superstar, but I mean, I enjoy the way that I had to do it. Go play for empty bars and go through all the struggles in my life. I just feel like it helped me out in the long run. So
Talk about your Nashville experience and life down there for you. What was that like?
well, the first few years I couldn't stand it.
How
in
come?
Nashville, to be honest, just because, like I said, I'm from Greenup, Kentucky, and that was kind of like a culture shock. Honestly, I mean, I've never lived in a big city, and I was like dealing with traffic every day, and I lived right in town. I had a nice place. I mean, it was convenient in some things, like being right there to go out and eat and all that stuff. But I just, I've always preferred being out in the sticks a little bit more. And it was, like I said, culture shock. So the first few years I was down there, I liked it, but it wasn't. Now I'm about 30 minutes outside of town. I moved back, and I absolutely love it now. The first few years I was down there too, I was still working my job, and I wasn't really focusing on what I moved down there to do. I mean, other than like the weekends I was playing and stuff, but that wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to do it, as my career. And then I think it was good because I came back here and to Lexington and for 2 years and took a little break and from the Nashville scene, and got to meet, a lot of great musicians here, and get involved with you guys here at this show and play a lot of the venues here, and just kind of mix it up a little bit and meet new people and try it up here. And I loved it here. I miss it all the time. But since I moved back, it's been really good. I've enjoyed it. I just wish, like everybody, it's affected us all, the COVID situation.
Yeah, sure. In terms of being able to perform.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully once we get that under control and back to normalcy here in a few months, everything will be fine. But it's been great. I love it. This time I've been working on new music, releasing music in January, hopefully, if all goes well. So it's I'm finally doing, everything I wanted to do the first time I was down there, basically, is what's going on now. So.
Yeah, you got some good fellowship of other musicians down there?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of them.
Talk about some folks that you play with and record with, people you've met in the course of doing this work.
Yeah, well, my buddy Jamie Baxter, he's a musician, and I live with him. He's one of my buddies down there. Paul Pace, he's a Kentucky guy, and they're both kind of from the same area. But those are a couple of my really good friends in the business. And then there's so many talented people down there.
Well, sure.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about being down there, is just getting to. They say it's a drinking town with a music problem is what it is. That's the saying down there. But it is cool because you're like always around, the best songwriters in the world, not even, of all genres, people with the blues and rock, everybody goes, there's a lot of people that go there, and it's Music City, just to be surrounded by that all the time. I think it's really cool. And to go out, you can go out on a Monday night and listen to Vince Gill will play at Third and Lindsley down there on Monday.
Right.
I went over and watched just random stuff like that.
Time Jumpers.
The Time Jumpers. Oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, and Joe, who plays fiddle for the Time Jumpers, he actually played on about all the fiddle stuff on most that I've done on the last
come
album.
on.
Yeah, and then he put some stuff. We saw him a couple weeks ago. Actually, he cut some fiddle. He cut some fiddle for us on that.
Well, talk
new
about how
project.
that plays out when you're doing a recording down there. A
Yeah.
guy like you, how are the musicians assembled? Who does that? What say do you have in it? What's your voice like in that process?
Well, it's I use my producer's Buddy Hott, and he's really helped me out a lot since I met him. He's really got me the sound that I wanted, and he pretty much has his, the crew of musicians that he uses to cut. And I actually was in the studio yesterday, but we have Brent Mason plays on all my stuff, and he's played on all those guys. There's so many good ones, and Joe I mentioned, but there's like they played on a lot of the big hits down there, and usually the process is I'll send Buddy the song, and they'll the Nashville number system. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
They will chart that out and get to work on it, and then ask me what I want to do to it, if there's anything I would suggest. But usually I'm just like, you guys do you know what you're doing, you played on all the good stuff, but they knock it right out. And if there is something I want to change, a lot of times I'll tell them I want it up tempo here or something like that, just the structure of it and how I want it to feel. And then they're all just incredibly talented musicians. They can get right on it and pick it up.
Super pros.
Oh, yeah. Best of
and
the best,
are the sessions? And yeah, the sessions generally speaking pretty relaxing.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome. I love doing it. It's just so cool to go into a studio and something that like you sit down and write with a guitar, and then to have it be brought to life basically, in a studio. That never gets old to me. That's enjoyable. That's like out of everything I do, I love playing shows and I love writing and all that stuff, but I love being in the studio. That's like my favorite thing to do is to record the music and get it back and hear it, because it's just like you started from scratch and then it's here, So that's probably my favorite thing to do, really. I enjoy being in the studio.
And you're playing here tonight, just solo. Last time you were here with a band.
Yeah.
And talk about solo versus band. What do you learn when you do the tunes without the band surrounding you and filling it out?
Well, I like to do that as well, to mix it up sometimes. But the last couple of years, I've really been playing with the band a lot more as opposed to used to. I would just especially when I was living around here. I would do band gigs every now and again, but for the most part, I've always just played acoustic. And it's good to mix it up, though. Something like this. I think I love what you all do here for local music and everything, and you all always support the original music, and I think that's awesome. And I feel like tonight would have been, this was what I wanted to do with this, because it's all about how it was wrote and telling the stories and stuff without all the big production and stuff. I think that's cool sometimes.
Yeah. Well, Kyle Fields, it's great to have you back on Red Barn Radio.
Yeah.
We wish you the best. Really enjoyed having you tonight, and safe travels, and we will look forward to seeing what you do down the road.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all so much for having me.
All right. Welcome back, Kyle Fields, folks.
Well, I've been down and lonely ever since she said goodbye. Seems like I've been a drinking every day that ends in a Y. I got a brown paper sack, makers to leave its mark, top shelf bourbon and a big broken heart. Well, I'll kill it and go to the honky-tonk, drink my cares away, and then I'll tip the band to play some depressing. I don't wanna hear no rock and roll, don't wanna hear nothing too fast. I just came to forget a memory and raise up my glass. 'Cause I'm drowning sorrows, one bottle at a time, drowning sorrows, blowing every hard-earned dime that I made last week on a payroll. Said another round up, let's go. Yeah, tonight I'm a drowning sorrow. I get high and I call some old buddies from back in school. They're all settled down and married, thinking I'm a dang fool. Say you better quit that hard living, boy, or put you in the ground. But they don't know what it's like to come home to an empty house. And I'm drowning sorrows, one bottle at a time, drowning sorrows, and blowing every hard-earned dime that I made last week on a payroll. Said another round up, let's go. Yeah, tonight I'm a drowning sorrows. Oh Lord, tonight I'm a drowning sorrows. Thanks. Man, I picked some of the most depressing ones for tonight. I just now realized that. I should pick more happy stuff, but let's see. This one I wrote with my buddy Coleman, who lives here in Lexington, and he shot my first music video. He's a good friend of mine, and he shot a lot of Sunday Best, all their early stuff, and he plays in bands, he writes, he produces, he does it all. He's a good buddy of mine, but we wrote this song over here one night. I can't remember what year it was, but it was over South Ford Road here, just right over. He's recorded. He had a studio over there, and he's lived there for a long time. We have partied many nights over there. But anyways, we wrote this song right here, and it's another one of the sadder ones, but it is what it is. Last night the bourbon looked me square in the eye, so I kept on drinking till the whole damn thing was dry. Seems like all I do these days since she's been gone, yeah, my life sounds just like an old sad country song. I ain't been to Sunday service since I was 16. I ain't too close to Jesus, but I'm close to Jim Beam. Yeah, me and religion, I guess we're hit or miss. But I know I ain't getting to heaven living like this. The line that I walk has always been thin, on a straight and narrow until I'm lost again. I better change the way I live before I cave in. The line that I walk has always been thin. Christians, drunks, and sinners, Lord, I met them all. From churches to honky-tonks to old smoky pool halls. I guess I'm somewhere in the middle of all of them. The line that I walk has always been thin. The line that I walk has always been thin. On the straight and narrow until I'm lost again. I better change the way I live before I cave in. The line that I walk has always been thin. Yeah, this line that I walk has always been thin. The line that I walk has always been thin. On the straight and narrow until I'm lost again. I better change the way I live before I cave in. The line that I walk has always been thin. Yeah, this line that I walk has always been thin.
All right. Well, this one right here is it was the title track of the, well, not the title track, I guess, but that's where the album name of the first, because a line in this song, Hillbilly Poetry, and that's kind of what I want to try to make, I think. So this was off the first album. First music video I ever did, too.
Great-granddaddy ran Pike County Shine, made him $1 one quart at a time, and did what he did to survive. Kept on rolling on down the line. My favorite meals were Mama's supper. Daddy taught me how to be a hard worker. Sister read a Bible cover to cover, and me, well, I learned to sing. And these are stories about me and honesty. You can take it or leave it. What you get is what you see. Stories about me, hillbilly poetry. And I sure hope y'all like these stories about me. So I took off to Tennessee to write my songs, chase my dreams. Can't believe what I've seen, but a pretty boy swears skinny jeans. Yeah, now I went in there to record, took a loan out of my 401. Still don't get no damn radio play, but at least I keep it country. And these are stories about me and honesty. You can take it or leave it. What you get is what you see. Stories about me, Billy poetry. I sure hope y'all like these stories about me. I don't do this for money or fame. I do it to keep from going insane. There ain't nothing like being on stage, and I sure love these songs I play. These are stories about me and honesty. You can take it or leave it. What you get is what you see. Stories about me, Billy poetry. But I sure hope y'all like these stories about me. Yeah, I sure hope y'all like these stories about me. Hillbilly poetry. Thank you.
We would like to thank Kyle Fields for being with us this evening on Red Barn Radio. We also thank our volunteers and staff for their help in making our production happen each and every week. Thank you all for listening to our webcast, watching us on YouTube and Twitch, and those listening to us on the Red Barn network of stations. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. It's your chance to hear more great live music from Red Barn Radio and WEKU. Red Barn Radio comes to you from our home, the Arts Place Performance Hall in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Our website has updates and further information on our guests and our program. We are on the web at redbarnradio.com. Now, once again, please welcome back Kyle Fields to the Red Barn stage.
Well, thank you, Red Barn, for having me. It's always fun, and I appreciate you all for everything you do for local music here around Kentucky, and thank you all so much. I wrote this song a few years back, and this was on the first album, and I was really down on my luck and everything, and missing Kentucky, and I figured it'd only be appropriate to close out with this song.
Blues about the only feeling I know these days. I wish I were down on a little sandy, throwing a few back with old Mark and Randy. But I sold my soul to the devil for some guitar strings. I ain't seen my mama and daddy in such a long, long time. Man, that Greenup County moonshine never sounded so damn fine. Maybe I'll put this truck on 65 and go back to the only place where I got some peace of mind. You're calling me home, just like a Keith Whitley song. I've been rambling and drifting for way too long, but no, not today. I know where I'm gonna go, gonna head on back to my old Kentucky home. And I can hear a banjo rolling when I hit E-Town. I stop and grab an L8-1 and I drink it down. I might stop at Lexington, watch them Wildcats play ball. Yeah, the Shears team is tough, I hope they win it all. You're calling me home, just like that Sunday best song. I've been rambling and drifting for way too long. No, not today. I know where I'm gonna go, gonna head on back to my old Kentucky home. You're calling me home, just like a Keith Whitley song. I've been rambling and drifting way too long. Oh no, not today. I know where I'm gonna go. Gonna head on back to my old Kentucky home. Yeah, I'm gonna head on back to my old Kentucky home. Yeah, and that sun shining bright on my old Kentucky home. Yeah, my old Kentucky home.
Well, that's all for our show this week. You can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on the web on YouTube and Twitch Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. Be sure to check out our social media for updates to our upcoming schedule. And now from all of us here at Red Barn Radio to all of our friends worldwide, it is our hope that you have a terrific week. Keep working together to be safe and healthy. And until next time, good night from Red Barn Radio.